Hey guys, this time on Deep Junk, we're going to play a little game of what if. What if General Motors had produced a muscle car station wagon? What would it be like? I would say, a Chevelle with an LS6 454, Chevelle wagon, LS6 454 and a 4-speed, or an Oldsmobile like we see here. W30 455. Unfortunately, by 1971, which this car is, the W30 455 was only rated about 300 horse. They were doing a net rating on them, which means they measured the power with all the accessories on the front of the motor. They were detuning the engines. You could only get the 442 and 71 in a coupe or convertible. It's not saying that you couldn't get a 455 in a Cutlass wagon or a Vista Cruiser, but you weren't going to see the W30 option, the cold air hood and stuff on it. But damn it, I'm saying yes. So we won't have the hood, but we can give it some styling cues from a W30 car. I'm taking kind of my inspiration is John Lingenfelder's 70 Vista Cruiser wagon. Since he passed away, it's in his collection now. You can see it online, lingenfeldercollection.com. 1970 Cutlass Vista Cruiser wagon. It's a dark green with gold on it. It is a badass. It's LS3, making 650 horse. And somehow they got the front end, the hood to kind of point down towards the center like it's scowling, and the bumper to bend up in the center to make it look like it's got a mean look on it, front end of it there. It's scowling or something. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but we're going to go ahead and use this car here because of the wood grain on the side. I do like the gold color. I'm probably going to change the interior with another car because it's a tan instead of black, and I can paint tan over it again to darken it up where I want instead of going with the black. We'll detail out the underside, get some dual exhaust going on it, and yeah, we'll make a badass grocery getter. So stay tuned. Alrighty guys, a little bit about our Oldsmobile wagon here, the muscle car wagon build. Kind of give you an idea of where I'm headed with this. I took the black interior and the base from the gold car, and we put it with the rose colored car there. We exchanged bases and interiors. The gold car will now have the tan interior. It'd be easier to put a little bit more tan in there on the seats, kind of break it up without having to primer it all and stuff. And then that way the rose colored car it can stay together, and I'll do something with it later. Not every car at Deep Junk Garage gets a name, but I think this one is working up to a name. I'm going to dub the Vista Bruiser. We'll be able to do exactly what the 442 had, like W30 stuff, because they had the ram air hood. They had rear bumper was cut out for dual exhaust, the trumpet tips on it. But we can make a kind of a street thumper out of it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and paint that post on the back there black, kind of black it out so it's not seen so easy. I'm going to try my detailing skills and keep the dogs in the back because I love dogs and I'd rather hang out with them than most people. And we've got looks like a cooler back there and a few duffel bags, so it's a muscle car with beer and dogs. The only thing missing there is tacos. So we'll give them. I'll try to give them a detail in the back there. One thing I noticed about the rose-colored car, or whatever you want to call it, And look on this tailgate. Oops. It uses the Oldsmobile rocket in the center, right under that button. And on the right side is the Vista Cruiser badge, but it's using the later model badge here also. From like 96 until the end of production they used that badge. So the gold car doesn't use anything on the back. They don't have anything on there at all. So just thought it was cool and pointed out to you. Gonna probably change up the wheels on this, do something with the exhaust. Like I said, the base on these, the exhaust is going out under the quarter panels and not like a 442 out front of the bumper. I could probably on the other base do away with the tailpipes and the spare tire well and do a tailpipe that comes out, you know, under the bumper. I'll just have to see what goes on there. Alrighty guys, that's about it. We'll get working on it and see what we can do with it. Already on the Olds, I am bending up a paper clip here for a roll bar. I'm going to go ahead and use my pin vise and put a couple holes back here in the floor to be able to run that through, and then drop some bars back to the back hatch area. Get our puppy dogs painted up. And on the chassis here, I'm going to have to do something with those tailpipes. Not sure what yet, but it'll come to me. For wheels, I think we're going to use some mag wheels with some BFG white letters on it, because hell yeah. And on the car, I did a couple gold stripes up the hood. You know, one of this little cockeye there, little cockeyed on the stripe. It's a street machine. It's a day 2 car. It's a, you know, party wagon, muscle wagon. The Vista Bruiser. Okay, guys, got a little bit more done on the Oldsmobile. Excuse me, our Vista Bruiser. I've got some nice tire and wheel put on it there when we go for track days. Get some styrene laid in that chassis to would set the axles up, lowering the car. And I got a red painted in there in the inner fender, like the W30 cars would have had, because this is our what if car. Oldsmobile used those red inner fenders in W30s from 67 to 1970, but they continued to use them in 71 until the stock that they had was all gone, depleted, and then they would go back to the black inner fenders. So our what if car could have probably had, or maybe, whatever, could have had the red inner fenders. So painted them in there. Looks cool. We got our grill, both grills blacked out, looking a little sporty. Got the body, some more done on it. The wind deflector above the back window. Our post in the back, painted black just to make it not as noticeable. Some tail lights, mirrors. Got our stripe on the hood there, stripes. The interior, got a little red up there in the front to finish up the look of the red inner fenders. A little tan on the seats there. It's about a 1 tone off. It's kind of hard to see, but it's on there, and on the dash pad. Roll bar, because when you go on the track days, you want to be safe. And this car has the dogs on the back, and those dogs were staying. They cannot be cut out or left behind. So we've got our igloo cooler in there and some stuff, and then the dogs going along. Looks like we got Petey. Remember Petey from Little Rascals? There's Petey number 1 and PD number 2. We're going to go to track days with us. It's just about done. Started assembling this car with a little bit more detail. The chassis, I will have to do something with the exhaust on it. I cut those tailpipes off, so I'll make some a little detail under there, paint the exhaust up. Well, it's looking good. What do you think, Petey? Yep or no? He says yes. Okay. Now guys, our Oldsmobile wagon is done. 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. I'm calling her the Vista Bruiser. This one means business, guys. Got it on those real riders, lowered on all 4 corners. Got a roll bar in the back. You can see through the back door glass there. Up front on the hood, it doesn't have the W25 air grabber hood thing, but I put stripes on just the same. I didn't want black ones or white ones, you know, something in your face, so I went with this gold, and it's there, but it kind of blends in. It doesn't really stick out a whole lot, so blacked out the grills there in the front, give it a sporty look. Up in there, front wheel houses, the front inner fenders are red, for like the W30 cars had. Chrome mirrors. Let's see, out back, there's our buddies. They're in the back there, waiting to go for a ride. That's PD1 and PD2. Remember PD from Little Rascals? So this one on the left there, he's got his right eye. Oops, and PD2 has got it on his left eye. So they're guarding the igloo cooler back there with all the beer and tacos in it. Inside the back there, you can see the post going through the car. I blacked it out, trying to keep it not so noticeable. And above the back window there is that airfoil. It's usually like a stainless, keeps the air from blowing back in when you've got the gate down on the car. Underneath, got her finished up right. Use a little chrome pen on those front control arms. The oil pan I painted in Oldsmobile gold, but I didn't really have the Olds gold, so I mixed up Chester's gold with some flat steel. Came up with that color. Got red on the bell housing, like a Lakewood blow-proof bell housing, and a 4-speed transmission. So hey, we're just going to call it an M22 Rock Crusher, because that's what you got to have when you're in the Vista Bruiser. Exhaust is done in aluminum with some Molto chrome pen on the mufflers to look like a stainless bullet muffler, and the tailpipes I made so they didn't come straight out the side there under the quarter panel behind the wheel, and then on 442 they would come out through the bumper. You have that trumpet back there, but I didn't have that either, so I put them out at an angle and just tipped them out at the very edge of the bumper there. I don't want to trip over a tailpipe when I walk around the car. So, and you can see some of the red up there in the inner fenders too. That is it, guys. I had fun with this one. It's neat. I will put it with the 64 Deuce little Nova sedan delivery. It's kind of a wagon, and I've got another one coming up, a 71 Plymouth Satellite wagon. We'll do that and make some kind of badass Mopar out of that. If you guys like what you see and you're digging it, go ahead and hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up on it. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I'd also appreciate that, and I thank everyone for coming by and checking us out, seeing what's going on. I appreciate you. We will see you in the next one.